What's up, guys? Alright, been a while, trying to get back on track. We're going to do some more pistol concepts for civilians and the dudes. Going to ramble off a bunch of ideas that I think that people who are not in service-oriented positions need to understand, and maybe this will also help some instructors and some ideas that I like to teach and that I personally use, and some crap that I've seen on YouTube that's making me talk about this. Okay, so it's not precept, but I'm going to give you the best I can. First thing I think I should go over that's been driving me crazy is this gun disarm thing, okay, that's been going on. And I'm going to go over a lot of stuff today, but the first thing I got to explain is please stop teaching disarms. If you're not a martial artist, unless you know that with one technique you can incapacitate someone every single time. Okay, you cannot learn real martial arts in a school, in a store setting. You cannot. Okay, you can't teach these things. You can't even show this thing on YouTube, or you can't. But it's to teach real martial arts. The way I was taught is abuse. Okay, like if you guys saw how I was trained as a kid, they were called CPS. Okay, you can't learn real martial arts in public. Okay, none of these things that you call martial arts are martial arts. They are fighting. Okay, these are fighting sport concepts. I'm not saying there's not good schools, but even the good schools, the real teachers are going to tell you that they teach the real stuff closed door. Okay, 80% of what you're getting in the school is not the good stuff. Okay, so what I mean by this is, first, you are the weapon. Okay, and what I like to, growing up, I was taught you need at least 18 months training 3 times a week, 2 hours with your instructor, plus an hour a day, every single day, and that's your base minimum for 18 months straight to develop the martial body, okay? To be able to do these things and to have the mindset to do them, because you have to be willing to do horrible things to somebody to save your life and save other people, okay? Now, with that being said, you as a martial artist, you should not need to strip the weapon from the attacker, okay? You want to evade and negate the threat, and the person's the threat. And if you don't have the technical skills and the power to be able to take this guy down, okay, you should be scarier than the guy with the gun. You're not a martial artist. So we're gonna stop right there, okay? But now, this is clear. I'll show you guys. Empty mag, okay? It's clear, okay? So you see a lot of guys teaching this, if I push and press the slide back, right? The gun's not gonna go off. And I've seen this Detroit guy and a couple other people have been teaching this shit. God. Putting a muzzle against your chest and depressing it, first of all, you have to be able to get and push the slide back and hold it back and keep it consistent. This guy had this gun to his own chest, okay? And if you press like this, it's not gonna go off, blah, blah, blah. And he stays on the line. Do you know how little effort it takes to get that removed? All the guy has to do is jiggle back, okay? The other thing I was taught, and I've never tested this, is that you can compress your thumb or you can put your arm against the rail, all right? Now this may cause some kind of malfunction, but you're gonna get one shot off, and that's enough to get you dead, okay? The first thing you need to be dealing with, if this is a laser beam, if the laser beam is pointed at you, get fuck off the line. If it's pointed at you, this is my first move. Okay? If some idiot is stupid enough to put this to my chest, this is my first move. Okay? I'm getting the fuck out the way. First move. I'm not gonna sit here playing these games. Okay? This is not a joke. You're gonna hurt somebody. Okay? Someone's gonna wind up dead. This is stupid. Stop teaching stupid shit. Please. Okay? Stop it. You don't need to strip the weapon. You need to take out the assailant. You need to take him out. Okay? This is not the problem. I'm the problem. Okay? So you got to get this out of your head. All right? There's a lot of problems with this. I don't understand why, people these are like competent instructors watch this shit and they let it go on. Okay? I don't know about you, but if I run up to you, take my thumb and shove it in your eyeball, I guarantee you're gonna have a real up day. All right? What is this disarm shit? Stop. Okay? You're not capable of taking down someone in one technique, and you even have the mindset to do it. You're not qualified to be teaching street defense, to be teaching gun disarms. Stop. Okay? Even look, I've trained with so many people. Okay, and I trained with some scary dudes. But the reality is, like, if you're not capable and consistently knowing that you have the technique and the intent to do serious bodily harm to somebody with these, okay, you are not a martial artist. Okay, you're a hobbyist or something else. Okay, traditional martial arts, martial pertaining to war, art, you seek perfection of. Okay, so martial is seeking perfection in murder, in hard things, terrible things. And the Bushido and all the religious aspect was to balance that to not make you a sociopath. Okay? But when shit goes down, you have to turn on that. You know, and it's a scary thing to have to understand that, but that's the reality. Which is why real martial artists don't get into fights. Because like my teacher said, there is no such thing as a karate fight. Okay? Its closest reference to science of dirty fighting, and it's not even a fight, okay? Which is, you know, why I also recommend that most civilians and martial artists carry in the 5 o'clock position. You could think, what? Why the hell would you say that? Oh, everyone's like, oh, I want to do it. These people, law enforcement guys, military guys, they've never grown up in the hood, all right? They've never had their pockets picked and had 5 people around them. They've never been in those situations consistently. They talk a good fucking game. And the problem with the law enforcement, because you have a law enforcement situation, you have military situation, you have massive backup, all right? And you have the law behind you. This is a total different world, guys, okay? It's a total different world, and you have to start thinking like a criminal. I know it sounds messed up, but you gotta think like a criminal. What's gonna be more like advantageous to me? No, please, I'll give you whatever you want. Okay? Or what? No, let me give you my wallet. Let me give you my wallet. What do you think is gonna be? Look, please, no. I'll give you my money. I'll give you my money. Here. I give you my money. I mean, come on. All right. Now, another situation with that is because when you're carrying appendix as a martial artist, someone who's mobile, right? Someone who wants to do things, who has other weapon systems like a knife, a pen, keys, my fists, my hands, my knees, okay? I need to run, I need to jump, I need to do things. I don't want stuff poking me in my stomach, okay? I want to kick somebody in the face, okay? So, for a martial artist, I prefer the 5 o'clock position. I can jump on my motorcycle, I can jump off, and there's no printing, okay? All right, I don't gotta worry about that stuff. Okay, even from the back, it's not a big deal. Now also, defeating the garment. Because of the way your body works, it's a lot easier for me to roll with one hand up than it is for me to do this. Why? Because naturally my body's going to lean forward, which creates more ripple in my gear. So for a civilian, for a martial artist, I prefer this. Okay? The odds of someone coming from behind me and trying to get it's much less likely. And most engagement's going to come from here. All right, you're not going to expect me to have anything on me. Okay, and when I go, no, please, I got you. Okay, that to me makes more sense. Okay, now again, because I'm coming from the position of the lowest common denominator in society. Okay, different ideas. I hope this is making sense. All right, I get a little excited about this because, you know, I've survived so many just terrible things, all right? And you know, I consider myself one of the good guys. You know, I'm a white hat, but I've been in some real bad places, guys. You know, and I've trained under and trained. I grew up, got to train people who were scary dudes. You know, I've trained people before and after deployment. I've been trained by everybody from every fancy alphabet that you can think of as a kid. You know, so I was very lucky to get all this knowledge, but I was also unfortunate enough to grow up in East New York and Brownsville, you know? So I've seen too many things and I understand how reality works, you know? And there's a lot of delusion, you know? So going back to the gun disarm thing, okay? you have two methods that I operate in. It's the female triangle and the male triangle. You can think of it like a Star of David. You have the triangle this way and the triangle this way, lay on top of each other. So generally our method of entry, follow, finish, okay? When our systems are trained to have a 3-second interaction, okay? After 15 seconds, my survival ratio goes down drastically. I am not trained to sustain a fight in a ring. That's not what I trained to do my entire life. Yes, I trained traditional boxing, my first system, but I trained boxing for the street. When my grandfather and father taught me when I was very young, they were teaching me to box bare knuckle for the street. You know, so I never came from this mentality. I want to play in a ring, right? It was, okay, I'm trying to get home from school and someone's trying to ride, I'm getting jumped. There's no bell, there's no referee, there's none of that. I'm trying to go home, okay? So anyway, going back to the concept of the entry and follow finish, right? When you're coming towards me, I only have two operational methods. One is I'm going to go on the male triangle, which is I step off the line and I come diagonal towards your center. Or two, I step diagonally off the line and I come laterally towards your center. That's the only methods that we use, okay? The third method is crushing. You know, I'm going to go straight through you, okay? Where you come at me, I come at you, all right? And the latter two is my favorite because through my testing and my dealing with crap, every time I've ever gotten injured is when I took a step back or tried to feint, okay? Every time I moved in, I've done well, all right? I think you always have a better opportunity of the sword fight method where they come at you, come at them, and you clash. And as Musashi would say, there's only 3 outcomes. The opponent's maiming or killed, you are maiming or killed, or there's mutual maiming and killing. That's it, all right? So going to the disarm concept, someone puts anything towards you, okay? Your idea is get offline, advance, and then break the line through. That's it, okay? Now, until you are confident that the average person with known to limited training, okay, you guaranteed are going to take them down within 3 seconds every single time, you are not a martial artist. We're not talking about, can I go and fight the Bukau guy? That's not who you get into the shit with. You get into the shit with some derelict who's likely not working out, who's likely not training, okay? However, their mentality gives them a 10-year black belt, okay? The mentality that they have makes them very, very dangerous, more so than someone who's trained in the ring. And this is why a lot of these fancy BBJ guys get dead. And you can see the footage of these wannabe tough guys that they think that their sport system is going to translate to reality, and it does not. Okay, it does not. And you can look in the military from blind to mid-map, and you can see it's a complete shit show. All right, it's a shit show. So let's get back to business. All right. So with that being said, no disarm should happen. And the same as I learned Aki Jiu-Jitsu, Elmore Rue Jiu-Jitsu, okay, from Shihan Smiley in the BRC. And, you know, I was young, but one of the things that I remember clearly was the waza. It was the tricks, you know, like all the wrist locks and stuff. But never were we shown to do any of these joint manipulations or tricks without causing pain first, okay? It was always initiate a pain response, get them to have their mind shift, and then do the work, all right? So with that being said, if you're teaching a gun disarm and you have not stunned or incapacitated the target, you have done fucked up, okay? You're teaching nonsense, all right? So when you see somebody telling you to put this muzzle into your chest and he's standing square off and telling you to grab this and my God, just stop. Just stop. It is stupid. Please stop. I am begging you, stop. It works in your fancy little, you know, sanitary, sterile rooms. It is not going to work in reality, bro, because no one's static like that. No one's just stand like this. Okay, people are going to move. Okay, if I put pressure on you, your response is going to be to react in opposition to that pressure. If I put forward pressure, right, what are you going to do? You're going to try to take it away. And in that one impulse, you get shot. Okay? If by chance he pumps and pumps to the back of the slide, pushes the slide forward, he's gonna get that one shot off. Okay? Your first thing when it's talking about firearm is to get off the line of the laser beam. Okay? This is a laser beam. It shoots a laser beam. Okay? Unlike a knife that's always live, this is only live on a linear axis. Okay? So my first instinct, and I want everyone to be teaching this, is that you get off the line, bro. You get off the line. Alright? And I don't mean like in those stupid, like, it's another thing with these guys who you see them on the ranges with their little targets and stuff like that. This is not getting off the line. Okay? Getting off the line is getting off the person's functional attack path. Okay? You just stepping side to side is not off the line. Okay? Off the line is where he cannot engage you. Okay? So if he's pointing any direction, whatever he's doing, I need to be here. Before I attempt to do anything with this, I need to be here, I need to be here. Okay? You guys need to stop teaching bullshit disarms. Please. Please, okay? I know YouTube gets a lot of views and all this stuff, but you gotta stop. Okay? This needs to end. It's just dumb. Alright? The first thing you should be doing is, he puts a gun to my chest, is I'm going to turn to the side, I'm going to put my thumb in his fucking eyeball, I'm going to take the other hand, I'm going to grab him by the face, I'm going to slam his head into the concrete. That, to me, is a gun disarm. Okay? Okay? Like, turn to the side, put your thumb in his eyeball, grab him by the throat, slam his head down, now I can start thinking about stripping a weapon. Alright? After I bounce his skull on the concrete. That is martial arts, all right? You know, it's terrible. You have to, you know, but you know, people say, how can you be a Buddhist and have so much aggression? And I think people misunderstand. You know, the Buddha has a warrior attendant with a diamond sword that slays demons. So don't get it twisted. Okay, Jesus, you know. This is the same guy who was like, you know, hit the cloak or purse, sell and take up the sword from you, my people, you have to take me. You guys got it twisted, all right? So, again, get off the line, take out the dude, all right? If you can't take somebody out and you don't have that vicious mindset and you're not willing to do dirty shit, you're not a martial artist, okay? And again, this is why in the old days, martial artists don't get to fights. Why? Because real martial artists are not trying to fight. They're trying to go home, or they're trying to take out some warlords who are trying to rape their daughters. Okay? This isn't about going to a bar and like, I'm tough. I'm not tough. That's why I think like this. Alright? Because I know I'm not tough. I have too many scars. I have too many broken bones. I'm not tough. Okay? I am not. I am not a fighter. I don't want to be a fighter. Okay? I want to go home. I want to drink whiskey. All right, I want to watch like crappy documentaries on YouTube and watch the world burn. I'm not into this. Okay, I'm into going home. All right, so I hope that I know I'm ranting, but it's like YouTube keeps feeding me these videos and it hurts my brain. It just hurts, bro. It hurts. All right, so some other things like that I think civilians need to understand. It's not like in the movies when you shoot somebody. Like, you know, unfortunately, I've seen people get shot. I've also got to watch many videos because the people that I trained with, you know, when I was growing up, they were kind enough to show me what they were teaching, you know, people like ATF, FBI, and all this stuff. Like, they were showing me their videos, and I got to see a lot of crazy shit. And, you know, you got to understand, it's not going to work the way you think it is. And personally, you know, I really think that if you're a real martial artist, you're better off in range just to take them out in your hands. Because if you see what happens when people get shot, they normally don't just react. Okay, unless you shoot them in the head. A lot of times, like, you know, you'll see cops shooting people, coming at them with a knife, and the guy's still coming at them. Alright? So this idea that the gun's gonna save you is a bad idea. Gun, for me, is my escape plan. Alright? If someone's trying to rob me, and they're in my hand range, I'm going to deal with them with my hands, all right? And this is for me to get out, okay? I don't want to be pulling this. This is like, all right, you know, I'm exiting, okay? If someone comes into my house, it's a different game. You see what I'm saying? But granted, you got to understand that they're not going to just go down, okay? It's not like in the movies where you shoot somebody and they fly away. No, what will actually happen is, especially closer range, it's going to burn a hole through them, and through momentum, they're going to keep coming at you. So when you don't know, shoot low. That's what I always tell people. If you don't know, shoot low. So in the end of the day, we don't have the luxury of being sponsored to train. I don't know about you, but going to the range is $100, $300 a day. You know what I mean? How many times can you do that? Not many. All right? So you need to start thinking common sense. You do not have the money, the time to get this type of training. You guys are thinking, how am I going to use this tool in a way that's going to be right for my situation? And law enforcement and military guys, they can teach you all these cool ideas, but in reality, that's not going to be efficient for a civilian. Okay? And especially when you don't got no backup, you're not clearing rooms with a fucking team stacked and all this. It's not happening, bro. Okay? So what do I mean when in doubt, shoot low? So you'll see a lot of people that train and they're trying to get this perfect sight picture and then no weaver stances and they're doing all this stuff. Dude, you're gonna be lucky if you get the gun presented and get a shot off. Okay? This is the reality of a civilian. You don't have the pressure testing. You don't have this inoculation to stress. Okay? Little ladybug. You don't have that. You're never gonna get it. You don't have the money. You don't have the backup to get that kind of training. So start thinking, what am I gonna do when the shit goes down? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shoot him in the hip, shoot him in the balls, shoot him in the leg. And I'm not gonna shoot him in the leg to not kill him. I'm gonna shoot him in the leg to stop his locomotion. Okay? Sight, breath, balance. If I'm in a situation, I'm not gonna fight someone. I don't care. Like, yo, you're tougher than me. I'm a bitch. But if it comes to the point where I'm gonna go to the hospital, you're gonna go to the hospital, you're going to the fucking hospital. I promise you. Okay? So how do you do that? Sight, breath, balance. Okay, I'm gonna take out his eyes, I'm gonna take out his airway, I'm gonna take out his balance. Someone's chasing you down. Okay? You have a lot higher percentage of being able to evade him if you shoot him in the hip or the pyramidalis. And you can try as a training partner. I was training with someone who was teaching me by some lost track hist. He's like supposedly a black dragon, he was a Chinese police officer, whatever. And he was teaching me some shit. And one of the things he was teaching me is to hit the pyramidalis and to graze it, and feel what that feels like getting hit this way. It's just not a good feeling. And to get hit in the hip complex, like when I teach what you call a T front thrust kick, I always teach people kick them right in the hip, in the corner of the hip, iliac crest. Why? Because I'm going to get a reaction that's going to turn them. I'm not trying to push them. Okay? I'm trying to get a consistent reaction I know I can depend on. If you throw a kick, and instead of me blocking the kick, I kick you in the joint, what's going to happen to your body? So if you shoot someone anywhere over here and they're chasing you, you're going to get a reaction because this is going to stop them from moving. This is the source of movement. Okay? That's my goal. I don't care if he lives or dies. I care about getting out of here and going home. I prefer if they don't die. Okay? I really would. But that's not my goal. My goal is to be safe. So for me, shoot him here. Okay? And this is where you'll see, like I train, like I said, I train people from every branch of everything. And I know that some people will consider high rate or high port, all right, versus low. I personally think like civilians should be in a low position. Why? Because when you draw, the odds of him stopping you and you still being able to get a shot off on a target is much better than you holding the gun here and him coming and stopping you. Okay? So coming from the bottom up is a lot better for you. You have a lot more targets and you can do damage that hopefully won't kill them, but will stop them. Okay? Because I guarantee you, let somebody kick you in the hip bone and see what happens. Okay? It's another little thing. I hate guns. All right? I really do. I hate them because it takes out the honor of dealing with shit. Okay? There's no honor in that when you're so far away. Okay? I want to go back to swords and sticks. Okay? That's just me. I hate it. But unfortunately, you live in a world where shit's crazy and you have to adapt, and to be a martial artist, you have to understand how to do these things. Okay? So, dealing with reloading. There's no such thing as a tactical reload for a civilian. This is a disposable item. Okay? This is garbage. I want you to understand that. This thing is meant to be used and thrown away. if you get into a situation where, you know, you do have to use this, and, you know, the police are involved, and I really hope that you're a good citizen, you're not a douchebag, they're going to take your weapon. Okay? They're going to take this as evidence. You know, so right there, you're gonna lose this for a while. Understand that. Second of all, like, you're not in a position when you're doing a reload to be worrying about the $20, whatever the hell you're gonna get an extra mag from. The mag drops on the floor, you let it drop on the floor, okay? And it doesn't exist. If by chance you're on your second, you can take this and use it as an impact weapon. Okay? So these have sharp edges. This will definitely help you. And your force multiplier, don't be fancy about it, right? So I don't believe in a lot of the stuff that, because again, people are training out of context. These people that are training you have so much, and they're in an echo chamber, they have so much more support systems and so many more hours and so much more quality training to deal with all these things that you are never going to get. It's not gonna happen. You're never gonna be this tier 1 operator or whatever the fuck it is. And honestly, I've never heard any of the people I've worked with in the military ever talk about a tier system referring to each other. This is some YouTube shit. I've never heard that in my 30 years. Okay? I've never heard anybody mention that's been in any form of service ever refer to themselves in that manner. Look, I'm from the hoods of New York. Maybe I missed something. I've never heard that. I trained with a lot of people. Never ever heard any of the people from when I was going in from Desert Storm till now, you know, like, I never heard any of those guys coming back going forth to say those things. Point thing is, you're not going to be able to simulate that experience, nor should you ever think to. It's not your job, okay? So start thinking, like realistically, how am I going to use this thing? So now, the problem of how do you get to proficiency where you're going to be able to use this shit, but not be able to afford ammunition, not be able to get like proper training, you know. So 2 methods that I teach, and you know, some people may agree, this is what I teach, and if you guys like it, just remember my name, okay? So I call it the elevator button. So with your support hand, because like, you know, a lot of people now, where I was taught, is a forward thumb, right? You know, I've seen the, you know, people use revolvers that have that cross thumb grip, you have this cup and saucer grip, whatever. This will still work with the cup and saucer thing, I think, also. So with a support hand, you make what you call the boxer's grip, right? And people who box know the thumb is usually taped to the side, okay? So you just make a hollow fist, and you put the thumb directly in the center, and then you just slightly put some pressure out, and I want you to make believe you're pushing an elevator button. And what you're going to do is quickly point to objects in your house, okay? And just quickly point, making sure that you have a straight line. One, this is a really good impact weapon. And I've used this to get out of a lot of situations, okay? When people are close to me, I take my thumb like this, I jab it under their rib, and they think they got stabbed for a second. It's not seriously painful. It's painful enough, a sharp pain, that it makes them wonder what just happened to them, okay? So taking that thumb and shoving it into someone's rib cage, and this is where I got the idea of start using this anyway, because I have done this many times working in the club scene, all right, where I need to move somebody, and they don't want to go, or they're too close to me, and I jig them, and you see the reaction, and then I get behind them. So this has worked for me many times. Okay, I'd say at least 15 times that I've used that technique. Okay, I also do it to my students 100 times just to be an asshole. But you know, like you know, you got to abuse your students a little bit. It's fun. But so take the thumb, put it over here, and just practice pointing, making sure that you have a straight line, slightly concave breast. Okay, with the right hand, do something similar to a phoenix eye fist. You're just going to take this finger and put it directly on the tip, right? And you're going to make a right angle. And you're going to do the same thing with this knuckle. Okay? Point, point, point. Then you put them together, point, point, point. Why? Because in the end of the day, we are not law enforcement, we are not military, we are not competition shooters. We are people trying to go home. Okay? If you're 5 feet away from me, I do not need a sight picture. Okay? I need to be able to present this and know that if I point this at someone, it's going to go bang in their direction. Okay? Okay? That's all I care about. All right? That I get a hit somewhere. All right? You're not some, you know, secret agent or some shit. Okay? Get with the program. You need things that are going to work for you. So this idea of reflexing point, 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 point. When I come out and I point, doesn't matter what hand I'm using, I'm able to get that off. All right? If you like that technique, just remember my name, okay? Because I know, there's not many things I've, come up with that I think will be useful for population. That's my little thing. If you like it, that's all I ask. Okay? So, that's basically a lot of that stuff. Okay? Now I see people talking about, okay, well, I gotta go, my wife was being held hostage in the house, and I gotta go clear the rooms and all this stuff, and and they start. Listen, I think room clearing is very important, but you gotta remember that you're not gonna be stacked up with a fucking highly trained squad with military grade weapons and radio backup, bro. All right, you're likely gonna walk into a dark house that's been broken into. You're shitting your pants. All right, you have no idea how many people inside the house. All right, you're by yourself, and I really hope that you have at least a double-digit stack in whatever you're carrying. All right, but here's the deal. One of the Israeli guys I train with, he said to me, "We don't go in the room, we just shoot everything." And it always stuck with me. So I'm like, yeah, I get like the whole tactical room clearing shit, but dude, I'm not going in there. Okay, I'm real talk. I'm not going in there, bro. Okay, I'm gonna be out here, man. All right, like, there's no, what? Let me explain to you what I mean. All right. Can you see this doorway? All right. First of all, I have barely any vision through this door. All right. I don't, this is my place. I know the size of the room and everything like that, but real talk, there's 2-3 guys with guns in there, bro. I ain't walking in there. You know what I'm gonna do? Okay? What was that meme with Dan DeVito? And I just start blasting. Like, yo, bro, like, come on, I ain't going in there. You crazy? Like, fuck no. Like, people are out your damn mind. Second of all, you'll see people and they see them, they'll say, okay, we're stacked up and we do this, dynamic entry shit. Dude, houses are made of paper. Okay? Most of this crap is probably, you can penetrate. That's dumb. Second of all, anybody who's played video games understands the angles, okay? The closer you are, the less you can see. This is bad news bears. I want to be the hell over here, dude. I want to be like, yo, all right, yo, okay, yo, dude, are we good? Are we good? Like, yo, like, and no fancy stuff and no nothing. Like, yo, I'm just gonna you people out your mind, all right? It's not gonna work like that in reality. Please understand that. You gotta start thinking like a normal human. What are you capable of? And what kind of support system do you have? You don't have a SWAT team coming to back you up, and anything, when you call the cops to back you up, they're gonna treat you like the bad guy for defending yourself, because that's the state of the world. You gotta start thinking realistically. That ain't gonna happen. So, maximum file size might be sense. Like, this video might cut off, but anyway, I hope this makes sense. If by chance understand how things work in the house, this is probably more solid than this. Okay? So I hope this video helped you guys. How much time we got left? Alright, well, we may cut off, but I think it's been pretty informative. Another thing I wanted to explain to you guys was transitions. So, alright. I hope we got enough time for this, boys. People will say you're clearing rooms and stuff like that you should switch hands to get to the... You're not a Navy SEAL. Not going to happen. Okay? So what I would suggest that you do is, if you have to go around the corner, is just to camp the gun over and turn to the other eye. Okay? With a pistol, that's good enough. Because again, the people you're dealing with are within 5 to 10 feet. You don't need any of these fancy sight picture or anything like that. You need to pop around and run. Okay? So you're on one side, you're on the other side. This is fine. Okay? It's not the same as the gangster one-on thing. You have a stable platform. Okay? Yes, you're gonna have some recoil issues, but who cares? The guy's right in front of you, dude. Okay? As for rifle, and why I say the stun method is the best, because it works in a lot of different situations. If you're using a rifle, okay, instead of trying to do an entire shoulder transition and be like, Steven Seagal or whatever, don't bother with that. just take the rifle from one shoulder, put it to the other shoulder, go around the corner, okay, and put it back to the shoulder. Because again, you're not looking through a scope when you're trying to get through your house or against some guys 5 feet away from you. It just ain't gonna happen, bro. Okay? Realistic, please, God. Okay? You know? Like, Danny DeVito, bro. And I just stopped blasting. Alright, is there anything else? I think I've ranted enough for today. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much of the rant. We have video time left? Okay. It's because it gave me a warning that my file size was too long. I was ranting at all. So what did we go over so far? Blah, 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 blah. Alright, another thing from a martial arts perspective. I was called circle protection. If I can touch you, this is my radius. If someone is within double, between like this space, empty hand, at the outside of the space, I'm going to be bladed. Once they approach where I can start to touch them, I square off. Okay? Where firearms, because I was taught first by people from Vietnam, the technique was a lot different. I was taught to shoot a rifle from a squatting position, like I'm eating rice and walking from here. Okay? So that's kind of nuts, but 14 years old with Vietnam vets in the woods, that's, I guess they thought it was funny. I don't know. Anyway, I still apply that in general to my concepts of self-defense. Once I can touch you, I square off. If I can't touch you, I'm bladed. Okay? Same thing like Taekwondo or violence case. If I'm going to come in, I'm coming with blade, but now as I approach you to make contact, I square off the hip. It's just a very simple concept. So firearms, if I'm out here, I would much rather be in a position where I'm bladed and shooting from here than shooting like this. I'm not wearing body armor. Okay? And I think this is where a lot of this comes from. They're wearing body armor, they have people behind them, there's a lot of movement issues. We aren't those guys. Okay? It's not gonna work for us. I want to give you the least amount of stuff to hit, right? But when you get too close to me, for my balance and my weaponry, I need to square off. So once I feel that you can touch me, I'm going to get square again. Does it make sense? Okay? And again, why I prefer having the 5 o'clock carry, because I have all my weapons available, and it's very difficult for you to come and grab any of my stuff. Okay? You don't even know I have anything, because I'm not going to let you know until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Alright, anything else? After I just basically started video by crapping on a couple of YouTubers. Oh boy. Well, YouTube doesn't like me already anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, another cool trick is, especially for women, if you can't rack because it's too hard, instead of trying to slingshot it this way, push forward. Okay? That's going to be easier. Okay? Than trying to just use your one hand, I like that because I like the idea of punching someone in the face, because I like hitting things. I used to, originally. I don't know what people are going to think about my techniques because I know it goes against a lot of the mainstream people. But again, I'm teaching people who aren't the mainstream people. And real talk, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I've never heard, in fact, every traditional, situation I've been where it's like, military, law enforcement, any of those people, professional fighters, like, I've trained world champion professional fighters, okay? I went at K2 boxing, I was a whole bunch of different places. And all the cops, all the law enforcement, whenever they see me, they always say, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna shoot him. Every single time. You know who talks shit? The nobodies, all right? I've never met someone who's ever had real training or been any kind of real shit ever say that my martial arts are bullshit. It's always been some no-name fuck from the middle of nowhere who's never got punched in the face. So I tend to have some confidence that what I'm sharing with people is relevant. I hope it helps people. I am by no means, the greatest in the world or anything. I'm just a dude who, I'm the renegade monk who lives in the mountain who survived the concrete jungle. That's it, I'm not trying to be YouTube famous, I'm not trying to make like crazy money, but if you want to donate to the channel, it's guidingourdivinity@gmail.com for my PayPal. I think there's other links that you can find from the expert movement link, but something got a little weird, so I made a new link. But it's guidingourdivinity@gmail.com for PayPal link if you want to give us any money, because I need whiskey. But I really just appreciate you guys supporting. You know, and I really hope that, you know, my little diary and diatribe and dissertations help somebody and is at least entertaining for you. All right, so with that, any questions, comments, or observations, let me know if I can help. I know some people wanted to see my take on the traditional Taekwondo from the RK Capital Division. So I'd like to start doing some more stuff with that. I just don't know if it's really worth sharing this stuff with the general public, because honestly, it's so far removed from what martial arts are now. Like, people don't even understand what what I'm teaching is even related. Okay. There's a book called The Killing Art that describes the creation of Taekwondo, and they only mention one quickly once. You know, there's a lot of nonsensical propaganda, and you know, the old style that was taught originally it doesn't exist. You know, and I can give a whole other video about how the Koreans and Japanese and the Chinese sold out the martial arts another time. All right, I hope that's good. So until next time, guys, you know, thank you, and be safe.